What is up, YouTube? I'm back again with another video. So I actually took a small road trip today and went to now my state's only surplus store, and that's on the opposite side of the state. So it's kind of funny. Earlier I was coming back from in town on the interstate, and I'm like, I have a week off from work. Bills paid, no real responsibilities. I think I'm just gonna drive until I don't feel like driving anymore. So I ended up on the other side of the state, to the surplus store, and I got some stuff. So I'll show you guys what I got. So first off, actually at the surplus store, I got the Forestry Service Wildland gloves, unissued, and a size extra large woodland camo collar for my Interceptor vest. So I have a 2003 dated Interceptor vest, unissued with no collar. This one is from 2003, but obviously it's been used. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. And then I got some pins for my brother and dad, but the one that I got for myself, actually at the surplus store, is, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up very well. Is this, so maybe I'll focus. Maybe. That's probably gonna be as good as it gets. So it's a Maltese cross, and up on the top it says firefighter, and then down below it says EMT, and then in the center it has a Star Life, and then on the side it has a pike pole with a ladder on the left, and then a hydrant on the right. So just kind of a cool pin, and that's what I got at the surplus store. So this surplus store used to be really good. Now that kind of the younger guys, and by younger I mean in their 40s and later 30s, now that they kind of manage the place, they're all about the new stuff, like the tactical stuff. So they don't really have much of Alice gear anymore. They have a lot of police stuff, and I guess that's cool and all, but it's just kind of turned into a normal surplus store with surplus uniforms. I will give them that they do have a huge selection of OG 107s, which is pretty amazing. And last time I was there a couple years ago, they actually even had ERDLs, but I didn't see any this time. But they do have a lot of desert boots. They actually have tons of the first pattern jungle boots that are with the dark brown soles. I was surprised to see how many of those that they had. Many in unissued shape, but they're also kind of weird sizes, like 5.5 extra narrow and that kind of deal. So then next I went to an antique store. So Sioux Falls has a ton of them, but for timing's sake I only went to one, and that's where I found this belt. So this is a 76 dated unissued large pistol belt, and attached to it was the shotgun shell ammo pouch. This one is from 1969. It's a little hard to see in person, but I bet the camera will pick it up pretty well. Yeah, it does. At first it might look like 89, but you figure if it has the DSA, so then that's definitely 1969. Nice to see one in this great a shape. I know that these things, for a while, they got pretty cheap, and then of course people raised the prices of them again. Well, Vietnam ones have always been expensive, but for a while they had the 80s dated ones that were pretty cheap, but now it looks like those are up to $40 now, which is ridiculous, but whatever. This came as a set. Of course, they wouldn't separate. Is $18, so Obviously, pretty much all your values in this. I don't have any use for the belt, but whatever. They did have some other stuff like an XM66 belt. So that's the M56 pistol belt with the Davis buckles. They had a web set. It was that belt with Y suspenders, Alice ammo pouches, an Alice 2-quart canteen set. Of course, they wanted an arm and a leg for it, but whatever. But this trip was so impromptu. I wasn't sure how much money I should have saved for gas, so I didn't necessarily buy a whole lot. And then I went to... Oh, there is one more thing that I got at the antique store. Laugh if you want to, but because I'm such a nerd, I found this and I just had to have it. So this is the original 1970s Star Wars Land Speeder. Looks like it's missing some stuff, but it was only $10. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to pick that up. Suspension still works on this thing. But, yeah, I don't know. I just decided to get that. And then I stopped at a restaurant, got some lunch, and left. Headed back towards home. And this is probably about a 6-hour drive if you make rest stops. I didn't, since it was just me. Like I said, I wasn't even planning on doing this, so I just kept on driving just to drive. But it was probably about a 5-hour drive there and back, so a total of 10 hours in the car. But another antique store that I stopped at, I picked this up. So it looks weird in the camera, and it looks weird in person. So you got these military-style buttons, BDU-style buttons, Velcro cuffs, Velcro pockets, military tag. So it actually says shirt men's fire resistant polymade mid GS USDAFS medium, has a national stock number. Not sure the year on this thing, but this is what we wear for forestry service, wildland firefighting. And on the back here, it's even marked, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Black Hills National Forest, U.S. Forest Service. So we still wear these, not necessarily this exact kind, but if you ever hear someone refer to their yellows and greens, that's a wildland firefighter. That's what they're talking about. It's funny that the surplus store actually had a pair of pants that were yellows and greens, and I passed them up, and I wish I didn't, because looking back on it, had I known I was going to come across this shirt, I would have had the shirt, the pants with the gloves, so almost a complete uniform. Of course, none of it would have fit, but for my Wildland truck, or my ex-Wildland truck, I thought it'd be cool to have like a vintage set of the yellows and greens. And I'll show you guys. I got a picture of myself somewhere on here. So here's what our yellows and greens look like. Now it's really hard to tell on my phone, but basically got the Wildland boots, the green pants. So back in the day, the shirts and the pants were essentially the OG 107 pattern, except they were just they looked like dress pants, but nowadays they're thicker. You can't really tell in the picture, but I have cargo pockets and they're built more like BDU pants. And then I have almost the same style of shirt, except my buttons are exposed and the buttons on my breast pockets are covered. Let's see here. Here's a nice close-up shot. I think those are Velcro pockets on mine. And then I have the older pack. So Yeah. Anyways, that's what they look like. If you ever seen the movie Only the Brave, that's exactly what they wear, is the yellows and greens. But so that's everything that I got. Not necessarily a whole lot, but like I said, super impromptu trip. And then coming in the mail, waiting for me, was my third pattern M55 flak jacket. This one is size large. It's in significantly better shape than my previous one. The color is not faded at all. It is missing a button, but I have a spare. Zipper is working in perfect shape. My old one was missing the entire this side of the zipper. Unfortunately, the seller just labeled it as large, extra large, and they didn't know what size it was. So it turns out it is a large. An extra large would have been perfect. So this is kind of a little small. Throwing on a jungle fatigue top with this, you really won't be able to notice. But I did label it just in case if I ever sell it. So it is a large. It does have some markings here. Looks like 1131 TB maybe, or M. I don't know. Some more markings on the tag. It's missing the paracord carrying handle, just like most of them, because they built that feature so cheaply. And on the back, there's a repair there. There's some smaller holes like here and there, and on the sides. And it's labeled toe. But other than that, it's in like perfect shape. So I don't know, maybe I'll try and sell it and get an extra large, but then again, extra large third patterns really don't come up that much at all, so probably just gonna hold on to it. But anyways, guys, that is gonna wrap it up for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions about this stuff, just go and let me know. And as always, have a nice day.